I'm going to tell you today about a story, a moment of pure unfiltered joy, a story about a woman who read 2 words on the internet and felt her heart soar into the sky. That woman was me. And the 2 words were Praetorian 7.
Oh my God.
And the joy. That joy lasted about 2 hours tops until the people who actually read the book came back, broke our backs, and broke the news. Welcome back to Warhammer for Tourists, y'all. I am your host and fellow tourist, Mom Chalant, LARPing with y'all to the grim darkness of the far future. This is gonna be entire episode's gonna be a dumpster fire. Anyway, today, brethren, we need to talk about what happened when an entire fandom collectively read one sentence. No, it's not even a sentence, guys. I said it. It was 2 words. And decided a Primarch with a questionable status was alive again. Here's what happened. A brand new book dropped, The Wicked and the Warp by Robert Rath, and it features 2 Necrons. And Necrons are mummified, hyper-tech galactic skeletons. No, we're not going to be elaborating on Necron lore because A, they're not the main character for this episode, and B, I don't want to because I'm not well versed in Necron lore. But if you're a Potterhead, the Necron named Trazyn the Infinite is like Horace Slughorn. He's a curator of special, unique, powerful, and interesting artifacts. It's like his entire personality. He wants only the best. And his alien tech is able to freeze his captures in permanent, living, but also frozen stasis. He has an almighty museum of his accumulated gold foiled Pokemon, and he scours the galaxy for more interesting finds. And somewhere in that book, Trazyn, this creature who collects everything, mentions that he has, and I quote, a Praetorian, the 7th, in his collection. Literally 2 words, guys. That's all it took. Because here's the thing. Praetorian is the trigger word for a certain beloved Primarch. 7th Legion Rogal Dorn. And the fandom did what the fandom always does when it smells a Primarch. It lost its collective mind. Now, I'm going to do something brave here, okay? And admit it. I was not immune. I was sprinting towards that Dorn-shaped light with open arms. I was already planning the party, okay? And look, I know I wasn't alone. Countless big-name 40k creators were flooding my newsfeed with both shorts and long-form community posts. All of it, guys. Everybody ran with it. And I have the receipts. There's screenshots, timestamps, documented enthusiasm of yours truly. And, in the middle of the stampede, after the dust settled and we found out what really was, I was huffing pure copium like it was a controlled substance.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
We were all in the Dorn-shaped crater together. Brethren, it's actually kind of beautiful in a very deeply embarrassing, soul-crushing way. And then we found out, we all as a fandom found out, not because I read the whole book, but because the people who actually finished it came back from the trenches and told us. And here's what one online friend at Silent King told me. It's a guard regiment, brethren. The Praetorian 7th. It's a regiment. Not a Primarch, a regiment. The kind of thing Trazyn has about 400 of in a box somewhere labeled assorted infantry. Good lord, a regiment. Not a demigod. Not the Praetorian of Terra. Not the 7th Primarch of the Imperium. So just a bunch of mortal guardsmen who were lucky enough to get cataloged. Oh my god. What did the focus group have to say about this chapter before it was published? But here's where it gets interesting because the panic wasn't random. It wasn't even wrong. We as a fandom wished this into existence, okay? Like, I need to hammer this point home. See, Dorn should come back is one of the oldest, most beloved theories in 40k. The Dorn-shaped problem in the lore has been there for a decade, and people have been staring into it, hoping against hope that something looks back. So the moment Trazen mentioned a 7th Praetorian, confirmation bias did the rest, okay? The fandom wanted it to be Dorn, and so, the fandom made it Dorn. You guys see a pattern here? Because this is textbook, and I'm going to use a fancy word so I feel smart for a second. This is textbook apophenia, finding patterns where there are none. Y'all might know the term that paranormal debunking content creators use, pareidolia, which means, jumping to conclusions based on looking at patterns. This behavior can range the spectrum from seeing different shapes in the clouds or staying up all night trying to analyze a text message to see if the person hates or likes you. It's manic behavior that somehow is inherent to being human. And that behavior gets cranked to 100 whenever you participate in a fandom. And this, my dear gals, gays, and days, is exactly why this series exists, because half the drama in the 40k fandom, and let's be real, half the drama on the whole internet comes from people reacting to a headline instead of a paragraph, a quote without context. 2 words, no receipt, and suddenly, guys, the church bells are rung. The cannons are going off. Lanterns are lit because, make way, the Praetorian of Terra is nigh. I'm not saying the people who panicked and began uncorking champagne bottles are stupid. I can't say that. I was in the panic. I was mainlining the copium, guys. But the thing is, it's not that deep until it is. And sometimes it's not even that. Sometimes the simplest answer is the boring one. And, sometimes the boring one is the right one. And in this case, it was a regiment. We rioted over a regiment. We prepared a ticker tape party for the grand return of Rogal Dorn. And despite the heartbreak at being proven wrong, I'm not sorry I participated in it. Although, here's the thought, chat. A theory, a sliver of sunshine, a little idea I'm going to plant here free of charge. You're welcome. The violent green mushroom folk we call orcs, well, when they believe something hard enough, it becomes real. That's canon. That's literally how their psychic field works. So maybe someone should start a rumor among the orcs that Dorn lives. Get a few greenskins convinced and watch them do their thing. That the universe will manifest the 7th Primarch out of sheer weaponized belief. It's giving peak natural selection of information, and you know what? I'm here for it. We nearly manifested Dorn with subreddits and shorts on YouTube. Imagine what an entire WoW could do, okay? Now, for those of you who are new here and have no idea why the hell anyone cares, let me give you the short version. Rogal Dorn was one of the 20 Primarchs, the Emperor's superhuman sons, the demigods who led the legions of Space Marines. Dorn was the Praetorian of Terra, the guy who held the line during the Horus Heresy. He was the wall that never broke. He's stoic, he's stubborn, he's the human embodiment of a brick wall with a power sword. And then, spoiler for a story that's 30 years old, he went on a crusade and disappeared. The fandom has been arguing ever since about whether he's dead, alive, or, maybe having a nap in a stasis field somewhere. So when a collector of everything mentions the 7th Praetorian, of course people lost it, because the alternative, that it's just a regiment, is so aggressively, frustratingly boring. And for me, that was just absolute rage bait. So here's the takeaway, chat. And I need you to hear me, because I learned this the painful way while huffing hours of pure copium. A rumor is not a reveal. A quote is not a paragraph. And before I rearrange my entire cosmology based on 2 words, I'm gonna remind myself to perform due diligence with credible research. Read the paragraph, guys. Check the receipt. That's my gift to you this week. My dignity sacrificed on the altar of facts so you don't end up making the same mistake. History repeatedly, aggressively suggests that maybe we should read the entire source, before we start celebrating. Thank you, fellow LARPers, for touring the Dorn-shaped rabbit hole that led to absolutely nowhere. If you fell for the Dorn panic too, comment below and tell me how much copium you consumed, because I need to know that I'm not alone. I'm your host, Mom Chalan, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye-bye!